Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neeley Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neeley family. Check them out online at neeleyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we check in with Royce Neeley to see what's been happening at Neeley Family Distillery. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Royce Neeley, Kathy Cool, and Katie Joyce.
Hey gang, what's up?
Hey, hello.
Hello. So yes, we are going to check in with Royce here. We're going to find out what kind of things he's got going on. Any new products in the works? What's Q4 will be here before we know it. Very busy time of the year for most businesses. We'll talk about, is there anything exciting coming out then? But before we get to all that, Royce actually said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Royce?
Yeah, man. So today I spent the majority of the day up underneath a classic car with my grandfather, replacing some different car parts and whatnot. And I realized again just how not mechanically inclined I am. So my question to you guys is are you guys mechanically inclined? Can you work on a car?
Okay.
I can. Yes.
Okay. This is good. Yes, go ahead.
I pride myself on the fact. So my ex-husband, he is very mechanically inclined, mechanically gifted, but windshield wipers are the bane of his existence. He cannot replace a windshield wiper to save his life. We have redone the turbo on a diesel before, like gone into things of like where the repair manuals are like, nah, just replace it. And he's like, no, I can fix this. I got it. But when it comes to windshield wipers, he can't do it. I can do it. Anytime windshield wipers came up, I was like, I got it. I can do this. I'm the person who can do this part. Now, that's not mechanically minded at all, but I do pride myself because of my experiences with him that I very much, I can change my own oil. I am confident in most things of a vehicle now. I choose to have someone else do that for the time purposes at this point in my life.
Well, sure.
But I do miss it at times because there are times that we had the entire vehicles torn apart, that I have welded the frames back together on old Chevys. Like I said, we've completely redone the turbo on the diesel that we had on the Cummins. So the experience of becoming more mechanically minded and having that experience has been wonderful in life. It's a great knowledge piece that I do not regret having. So it's been wonderful.
Okay, fair enough. I had my own run at being mechanically inclined when I was 16 years old. And I had a job at the grocery store, so I was making money. And a buddy of mine and I used to buy old cars, fix them up a little bit, and flip them. So we would flip cars, and we called our business S&S Restoration. Steve Akeley, Steve Milligan. And,
I love it. Love it.
Oh, yeah. The two of us would be doing those cars. I mean, I could do some of the basic stuff. I haven't done any of that stuff since I've been 21 years old. But, changing oil and, I don't know, changing out brakes. All that. He could, the other guy could do everything. Steve Milligan could fix anything. So I had the benefit of that. And we did a little body work and stuff, minor stuff. You name it, we did it. But like I said, I've lost those skills at this point. It's been a long time, but yeah. Now I don't do anything.
Some people just have like that natural instinct about them, though. Like I was dealing with an issue of a code popping up in the Malibu we have recently, and I knew it was at the stupid motherfuckers at whatever Valvoline or whatever that replaced the oil, messed up the airbox. I was like, I know that there's a leak in the airbox because they stripped out a screw somewhere. I know it. And so sure enough, went and looked to see if they just messed it up, maybe had it off place. No, they stripped out the screws. It was getting air into there. It was sending a code. And so I was able to text my ex. I was like, I've got this issue. And he was like, oh, put a piece of a zip tie in with the screw. As you put the screw back in, it'll make it tight again, even though they stripped it out. Sure as shit, it worked. Code went away. I cleared it, didn't come back. Like some people are just minded like that. He's like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. No problem. Like I know I can just throw that information out there. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Why didn't I think of a piece of a zip tie? Sure, that didn't cross my mind.
I don't even do the basics anymore. Like I said, battery change, windshield wipers. What I do now is I send the warden up to the auto parts store, and those basic things, if you buy them and you're female, I guess, I don't know, they just are like, they ask her, do you need this put in or help? So she just has them do it then. If I go up there, I bought the stuff before.
They mess up your stuff. God, it pisses me off.
You go where the old guys are, not the kids.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Guys.
You gotta find the old guy. You got to find the old retired
guy
working there who's just doing it because he wants someone to fill his time.
Exactly.
That's the guy you can trust.
Well, he probably works on cars, and then he's getting some money so he can, have some mad money so he can work on his cars, and then get maybe a discount too on parts and stuff like that, and then plus whatever he can steal. So you've got all that. So
only makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the key. If it's like a kid working there, don't turn around and leave. Yeah, they want us. Yeah. Yeah, old guys rule. All right, Kathy, how about you? Are you pretty good at fixing
stuff? I put gas in my car. That's about it.
Okay.
For people from New Jersey, that's an accomplishment.
That is a struggle for some people.
Yeah.
And Washington, I think, or Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah. That's a weird experience, not knowing how to put your gas in a car.
It is. One just changed the law. I can't remember which one. One of those two.
I think New Jersey might be the one who changed it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now it's down to just one where it's required that they
fill
up your tank for you. It is weird. It's awkward. Yeah. You get out of your car.
It's especially if you're not from there and you just pull into the state and they're like, like they run out and like, do not touch that. And you're like, what?
Right.
What have I done wrong?
Yeah.
You're not certified.
Yeah, you're not certified. You don't know how to work.
Certified.
You don't know how to work a gas pump. Get away from there.
You can't do this.
Right. Yeah.
Yep, that's always strange. I would say that I'm probably the most qualified person to work on a vehicle in this chat.
Not bragging at all, but yes.
I literally I literally was a body mechanic, and then I was an actual mechanic. So. I say not to brag.
This is when I really, really wish we had video.
Oh yeah.
Beka Sue
look at the dog back there.
Oh. To watch him like looking at her.
Here goes
he's liking that pillow. That dog likes that pillow.
Okay, ignore it. No, ignore
oh my god.
It's got a girlfriend there, that pillow. Oh yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that you let porn happen on these shows.
Wow.
Yeah, this is
soon. He's 9 months old, and it's time for the good old snip. So
no kidding. No, that dog is excited.
And he's really, really excited about the podcast and our discussion on mechanical.
And I love how Katie's just letting him go at it. She's like, you do you, buddy.
If I stop him, he'll start yelling at me and making noise. And so really it was just that you all could enjoy the visual experience, but he was technically quiet for the audio purposes.
Okay.
I think that was him agreeing that I am the most qualified. He started humping right when I said that. So
now he's licking himself. So
I think he'd agree as well. I don't work on stuff anymore, but it's just because I don't have to, so I don't.
Well, sure.
I also haven't been a mechanic for, I don't know how old I was when I was done being a mechanic, but also, in the oil field, I had to fix stuff all the time because just shit broke all the time. But that wasn't even so much, it was cars sometimes. It was like trains and like heavy equipment and stuff like that. But I haven't had to fix stuff. So that's kind of, it was fun when I did it, but I don't have to do it anymore, so I don't. I don't use that section of my brain anymore. So.
Well, Well, now
it's just shut off for now until I need it again, I guess.
I guess, yeah, hopefully. So, Royce, do you think you're going to get there, mechanically speaking?
I'm getting a lot better, but
I can testify on the fact that he is getting better all the time.
Okay,
I'm getting a lot better, but I just get out there and I'm like, man, there's just so much I still don't know how to do. It's crazy to me, but I'm getting a lot better. But when you're as unlucky as I am with old cars and every single one of yours breaks down all the time, you have to get better, or I'm going to have to sell them, one or the other.
Right. Yeah, they're tough. Yeah, because there's always something.
I like old cars because you don't have the electronics. You're not chasing down some kind of wiring gremlin, and so you're limiting your issues. And so I do like older cars for that matter.
Not like the new stuff.
No, where you open up the hood, you're like, oh, it's all plastic. I can't even see an actual.
Yeah, you literally can't do anything with the new stuff at all.
Right.
And that's the wildest thing about the new stuff is there's just nothing you can do. You're like, oh, okay, well, guess that's about it.
Yep. You're like, oh, it's a battery issue. Cool. Nothing actually mechanical at all. Awesome.
Exactly.
That's, my truck was losing its shit the other day. It was just because the battery cables were not hooked up correctly. The battery had been replaced, the cables were not tight enough, and the entire truck was just losing its shit, causing all kinds of weird issues. Purely electronic. I'm like, you know what? 2018 Sierra, I was like, my 89 Silverado wouldn't have done this to me. It would have been just fine.
The old Silverado would have been good. On that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Kathy Cool.
Okay. Since we're going to talk about Neeley, I'm getting out my hidden barn.
Okay. Squeaky and Basie. Squeaky and Basie. Next up is, let's go with Katie.
I also have my Neeley hidden barn. I felt appropriate for the episode, but we'll see what it sounds like with a mic. Same comparison again, as Kathy and I have done before.
Okay. Not bad. Stuck the landing. No squeak. So
no squeaks.
Katie now takes the lead. Becca, what do you got?
I just have one of our just Kentucky bourbon single barrels. This is a weeded version.
Okay. No, Katie still got the lead. I'll go next. I've got Papaw's birthday barrel from this year. So here we go. Yep. Why not? Slide on the set. Yeah, the dog heard me say that, and then it does it. Ridiculous. All right, here we go. No, just nothing but squeak. Royce, we got to get that fixed.
Might have made you nervous with the barking.
Yeah. All right, Katie has the lead. Royce, you're last but not least. What do you got there?
I have my old Jet Brothers, the Portuguese Madeira finish.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay. That sounded like it was going to be good. Then it kind of muted itself out. I think the mic might have picked that up on you. It might get a mic muffled you. So, Katie wins. Cheers, gang.
Okay. Cheers.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yes, Woo! They do. All right, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, it's going to be time for an update from Neeley Family Distillery. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. We're also sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop focuses exclusively on barrel picks. It's the job of owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnat to seek out distilleries that are making the best whiskey in the world, taste through their barrels, and select the ones that are off-profile in the best way possible. They have high standards and refuse to allow anything into their store other than something they would be proud to have their name on. This leads to some really awkward conversations with distilleries that can't make it, but they do it for you, their customers. Learn more about what is going on at their St. Louis-based store by heading over to abvbarrelshop.com. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neeley Family Distillery. Royce Neeley is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neeley Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neeley arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neeley and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neeley Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeeleyFamilyDistillery.com.
This is also Freddie Mills going underneath the alias of Danny Kennard. You can find me on Facebook at any time. Just look up Danny Kennard, but I am Freddie Mills. Trust me.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking to Royce Neeley.
Yes, we are. So, Royce, first question is as simple as, what's going on, man? You haven't been on in a while. What have you been up to?
Yeah, so we just been doing a few more upgrades down at the distillery. Just got our secondary fermenting room done. Did a bunch of work on our boilers. We've been focusing on getting our compliance up to date, which has been like going on an 8-month process. But I'm pleased to say we've been fully compliant, very confidently fully compliant for months now, which is awesome.
Woo!
Great. And,
I love hearing compliance. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been good. I'm definitely sleeping a lot easier at night. So
Yeah.
now I'm just making sure Uncle Sam gets every single bit of their tax money, which I greatly love.
Yes.
Yeah, so got a couple new flavored products going to be coming out. Currently working on a Whorehound Candy flavored moonshine, which we're going to dub as Old Pap Neely's first ever flavored moonshine. So when everybody says moonshine was never flavored, they're wrong, because my great grandfather was flavoring it over 100 years ago.
Okay.
With Whorehound Candy.
Wow.
And then we're going to be doing a peanut butter whiskey as well, which my wife hates, but that's all right because it's going to sell. We're going to sell a lot of it. It'll go under the Papal.
Papal, yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
It'll be under Papal Sizemore's brand, so that's going to be neat.
Okay.
And we're going to be putting out a staple bottled and bond product. So the Papal Sizemore's birthday barrel Akeley has been wildly successful, especially since we've added it to our tasting. So on the normal tastings now, you can just taste that barrel. We are selling the day cases of it a day. So we're going to roll out, and we're just going to keep a bottled and bond product around at all times.
Okay, that's good.
So we're at that point now, which is great. And then, man, I've been, you know this, I'm hiring right now for a distribution manager, and we're getting ready to roll out a full distribution plan, which is something I've been talking with you about Akeley for probably a year now anyway, starting with the absinthe and just kind of progressing on through some different stuff. So we're in the beginning stages of that. And step number one is hiring somebody. We've got some really good candidates that have applied, which is great.
Yeah.
Wow. That's huge.
It is.
That's massive updates.
I mean, yes, right there. That's a show's worth of updates, right there. Right
Again,
there.
I wish we had videos, because I'm imagining the eye roll and the reaction from Beka as you talked about the peanut butter whiskey. So the vision in my head is beautiful. So
I actually smiled because you said, my wife hates it. I was like, well, at least you fucking added that in there.
Okay, you're check it off your list. I don't have to say that myself. Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna make it.
I do.
Ball.
Yeah, I do a lot of the. I do a lot of the figuring out what we're doing for products and stuff like that. I do a lot of the tasting stuff. And Royce is like, you need to pick out one of these. You need to pick out, what peanut butter we want to use. And I'm like, I hate all of them.
Well, I've got 3 samples there. So I work up 3 different samples, and I'm like, pick one of these out. Which one do you think is going to sell?
And I'm like, I hate all of them. So it's hard for me to, the worst person out, because I love peanut butter, but I hate peanut butter whiskey. So I was like, that's a hard one for me, because I don't know.
I test them on my mom, like I've always done. But, if she likes it, it's normally going to do okay.
Okay.
I mean, she hates most whiskey and drinking, so if it's smooth and flavorful to her and she likes it, normally it's probably going to do all right.
Okay,
That's
good.
important to have that person
Built
that
into
is
base.
not
Yeah.
a big whiskey fan,
Yeah.
who's not over judging it, but also will tell you the truth. Who's not just
Well-
gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it's good." Who's gonna be like, "No, f that
Well,
one."
and you guys
be like,
have to
"Oh no, this one's
understand,
okay."
with the flavored stuff too. I'm a lot of times marketing that not towards obviously the kind of drinkers
Whiskey
that we
neat
are.
drinkers. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you like so. I mean, we're used to drinking barrel strength, so this stuff tastes really weak to us. However, for somebody that I'm marketing it to, 70 proof, it might actually burn to them. So that's why I like to test it on my mom.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I was
that's
at
a good
a
point.
wine tasting this past Friday, and they had a port out, and they're like, "Oh no, this is 19% or whatever like amount it was." And I was like, "That's cute." Mhm. I'm like, because they're like, "Oh, we'll pour you 2 ounces of each for like the 6 choices you have," and I was like, "Cool."
Oh, no.
This is gonna
Yeah.
add up to 1 pour of my single barrel. Got it. All right.
Right.
Good.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, now this port is a higher proof," and everyone in the group was like, "Ooh," and I was like,
I do love port. Ports are great.
I was like,
Yeah.
I love a good port, but that did not deserve an ooh. Like,
That might have been overstating it. Yeah.
yes.
Overstating.
Yeah. Kathy, what do you want to know about what's going on with Neeley?
So with all this expansion, are you expanding your storage? Do you have another rick house or anything?
Like outside
Not
the
yet.
barrel that's in the kitchen, is it going into the bedroom now or in the living
No,
room? Or...
I'm pleased to say we're selling through a lot of product, which is nice. So I'm freeing up space. I mean, we sold well over 120, 130 barrels last year through Hidden Bar.
Man.
So that's full 53-gallon barrels. So
Yeah, that's a lot.
we're selling through. So we're replacing them with the new make. And as of right now, I've still got some extra room, but we'll see. I've got about enough for 600 to 800 more barrels of storage on site currently.
Yeah.
So how much
Well, I've
did
got to
your
build it up.
expansion on the fermentation add?
That would allow me. So I'm not.
He's not
I
utilizing
built
all that
that-
capacity, but yeah.
Well, yeah. See, I built that room knowing that I thought I was going to use it strictly to make moonshine, because moonshine takes at least twice as long to ferment as bourbon. So I was building that for the Mountain Distillery. Obviously, I sold that, so we just kind of slowed our roll down. But that would allow me to actually push production up to around. If I really wanted to run full blast, I could make somewhere between 800 to 1,200 barrels a year with that second fermenting room.
Okay.
Woo!
It allows us to run a full second shift. Like I said, we're not nearly there at all, but
You're not
I've
nearly
got it
there.
paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah, nearly.
Hey!
We're not nearly there.
Oh.
We are going to use it though. I'm going to be doing some rum actually with Rolling Fork. So they
Really?
want to make a
Ooh.
high ester rum, and I've been working with Turner and Jordan. They're going to
Okay.
do a vinegar wash on it, which is going to be pretty neat. But that's going to be the first stuff that I actually ferment in that secondary fermenting room, and we're going to let that
Awesome.
ferment for 30 days. By the way,
30 days.
Wow.
Okay.
30 days. So it's nice to have that to do some experiments like that without taking away from my regular bourbon production.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's nice.
I
That's
will
good.
say, ever since the amazing absinthe, and then also the cinnamon whiskey that you guys have, so pretty much any product that Neeley puts out that is something you would not expect or not normally purchase, I will purchase. So like hearing like the peanut butter whiskey or like all the different things that you could try or just experiment with or put out, I'm like, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to try it. Because if you guys have decided that you're going to put it out there to purchase, I'm like, yep, I have to try it. Like
You gotta
just
try
because of just those 2 things alone, I was like, whew, that's amazing. Yep. Check. Like you have to
Nice.
try it.
I appreciate that.
Nice. And they
And,
should
like,
be
even
available in St. Louis soon too.
Yeah.
Once
They will definitely be
It makes it
available. in
handy.
St. Louis.
we're
So
going to do all
is-
that kind of stuff. Yeah, we're
that
doing
is phase
everything
one.
Neeley sells is our goal. So
That is phase 1 of distribution plan. Is
we're phase
making
1.
Steve Akeley stays supplied in St. Louis.
Yeah, so that's going to be cool. That's going to be really a neat thing. We're going to just to lay out the game plan. What's going to happen is when we get all this product, like you've been putting stuff aside on a pallet, we got to get approvals, states, all the stuff you got to do. And once all that's done, you're going to ship us that pallet, and then we're going to have all this stuff. And we're going to have like a party day where it's all available. Buy any Neeley items available to buy it now. And then after that, once that party's over, stuff gets put away, and then we roll out those items. So the back stock, we're going to put out like a different one each week. And then moving forward, the plan will be to put out a different Neeley item each week. Rotate them in, rotate them out. It'll be continue to roll what's available. So
I'm going to be so broke.
I know, right?
It's going to be kind of
I
fun.
already had an issue with Darren coming in and he's like messaging me like, oh, how many bottles of this one did you want? How many bottles of that one do you put in your boxes? And now this, like, God.
Yeah. Well, and here's breaking news too from the ABV Barrel Shop. We've got a new shelf for customer holds, and we only hold stuff for people who are part of the syndicate in the club. So if you're in the club, we now have a shelf that's right up there. It's going to be, we don't have it in yet. It's ordered. I think it arrives Friday. And this shelf, and Katie's going to have a spot on there. She's going to have her own spot. All the rest is going to be generic. There's two customers who get their own spot on the shelf. So it's going to be a box that gets filled up. And then I guess if you go beyond a box of 12, by the way, a box of 12. And that's happened before with Katie. If you go beyond 12, we'll put another
I
one.
had 17 bottles last time I was in. So.
Yeah. And then she wants to come in when Darren's there because he talks up because he wants credit for it. No, he doesn't work commission or anything like that, but he likes the days when he's working for the registered totals to be high. I guess
you can brag about it.
Yeah, you can brag about it. You're talk about your worth and value. So yeah, he's working out deals with Katie to come in when he's there. So yeah. So
I think it's adorable. I'm all in for that. I think I like it.
That's very cool.
And he messages me to make sure when bottles get low, he messages me to make sure. Like, hey, you have this bottle. Is it low? Do you need another one set aside? Like, he's got it down pat. That's good.
He's good. I'm glad to hear that, actually. So that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Royce, anything going on? It's not far enough away that we can't talk about Q4 and obviously the holidays and all that. You got anything? Sometimes you come out with a new cream around the holidays, stuff like that. Anything like that going on or anything we need to know about happening at Neeley Family Distillery this holiday season?
As of right now, I'm not currently. I've had some people ask me to do Snickerdoodle again and some stuff like that. Right. The creams are difficult because if you don't move through them quick enough, you're kind of setting on them for the rest of the year.
Right.
So I don't know if I'm going to do a holiday cream or not this year, to be honest with you, because the other ones, the bourbon ball and the truffle sell so well that they still dominate. Even when I put out another cream like the pumpkin spice, which I think is fantastic. I love our pumpkin pie, but they still just get dominated in sales by the bourbon ball and the truffle. So it's like why even do it when you can just focus on the two that are absolutely
we need to work for that St. Louis market.
I would like to do that.
Gooey butter cake.
Yeah, gooey butter cake. People in St. Louis love the gooey butter cake.
So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just do a limited run of gooey butter cake just to send to the ABV Barrel Shop. So.
Yeah, I people would go crazy for it, man. I'm telling you that's.
I'd end up filling up like a whole box of that, just that for giving a gift, like St. Louis area, because like it's the ultimate St. Louis gift.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
I'm still looking for the gooey butter cake or the shoe fly pie barrel for single barrel name. I've never come across them yet, but eventually it'll come.
Yeah.
When it clicks.
Yeah, we got a great story about the shoe fly pie thing. So Royce and I, it's when we went up to Pennsylvania, and apparently shoe fly pie is a big thing around Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is where we're at. And Royce and I had never had it, so we wanted to go try it. And we're going to these places, and then we get a guy who feeds some to Royce. He snuck up behind him with a plate of it and said, "Here you go, buddy." He didn't care. He didn't give me any pie.
I was going to say, when you said he fed it to Royce, I thought it was like hand fed it to Royce for something.
That would have been nice.
Good visual, though.
That would have been nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Remember that, Royce, or did you forget that? Has that been too traumatic?
It's pretty traumatic. A really, really, really strange guy.
It was. Yep. Well, we ate. I got a piece then, though. Then I got a piece, and then we ate that, and then some homemade root beer.
Root beer was good.
Sitting on some rocking chairs. Yeah, sitting on some rocking chairs. Just the two of us, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, on an adventure. So fun stuff. All right. On that note, we're going to wrap this thing up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Katie, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me over on Instagram at KatieProof.
Kathy.
You can find me stocking all of the Neeley products at the ABV Barrel Shop, or yes, on Instagram at KK Calf
Royce.
Facebook and Instagram at Neeley Family Distillery or NeeleyFamilyDistillery.com.
Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter or on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, that ABV Barrel Shop we've been talking about. You can try before you buy there. So online, if you want to see what we have available, or when Neeley comes in, sign up for an email text distribution at abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some of the great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro is owned and operated by Russell Creed, who makes stills for the hobby distiller. He offers a one-stop shop for everything the at-home distiller needs. Whether it's a small, experimental stovetop still or something bigger you run outside, he has the still or parts you would have difficulty fabricating yourself if you were trying to build a DIY still project. Additionally, he has resources to assist in creating unique distilled spirits, including heirloom grains, barrels for aging, and recipes. Check out Russell's company online at moonshinestillpro.com. Finally, I have a question for you. Have you ever boxed a bear? Of course not. That'd be silly. Bears really don't follow the rules, so shots in the back of the head, punches to the nuts, and scrums after the bell would be the norm. A better idea would be to enjoy Boxing Bear Whiskey, a brand crafted by Nobleton's Distilling House in Union, Missouri, and sold exclusively at the ABV Barrel Shop in suburban St. Louis. This is a popular offering that sells out quickly, but when you are in town, stop by the ABV Barrel Shop and see if they have it in stock. Better yet, sign up for their email and text distribution over at abvbarrelshop.com, and you'll know exactly when it is in stock. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.